I think you've mentioned that once before. Like, if people mention certain names in the game, like, I don't rename any of my characters, but if I come across somebody with a specific name, I will steal them. Like, for instance, Kit Kat and Shadow are now dating, and Shadow is my mod, and Kit Kat's, like, always here and stuff. So they have colonists in here. Gorilla is a waiver. I took Tyran for Tyrantha, stuff like that. So, like, I take really specific people if I see them. That's why I often, if I have a caravan or a raid happen, you'll see me stop and, like, check everybody's names. Sometimes I miss it. Sometimes I don't notice it till later. Like, I took 3 goes to notice Moose originally. There we go. One of the caravans are there. I can see my group again. Alright, that should be enough to get you guys out of here. Reform. I'll get you guys to rest and then we'll go there. I just was waiting for that for ages. I might as well take the marble blocks with me. Take all the dead animals. I'll take that in a second. Take the gold that we harvested. Carry as much wood as you can. I am taking the wood between places. I don't really need to be, like, filling up on this shit, but I have got more caravans of animals coming, so this isn't a huge deal. Do that, then pause. I want you to still get here. You to split. Loser and Parsons are currently downed, but we're gonna send home. I think I was looking at Regal, wasn't I? He just does mining and animals. That's great, but I have a bunch of other people that can do that. Do construction and mining. I need you to stay because in case I come across something. Val can set a bunch of stuff on fire. I don't have that many people that can do gathering and shit. What does Kangaroo do? Just hunting, right? She does plants. She can stay. Okay, then it's gonna be Regal. Oh. Regal can go home. And before I give you any animals, I want you to take the steel, the marble, and all the dead animals. I don't care about the wood right now. I guess you can take the gold back with you. The guns and shit, they belong to my people. I have to put that back on them. I just gotta remember to do it. Medicine, you can take 1 of each for yourself in case you get attacked. You can take the berries because we've got... Actually, take the berries and the rice because we have a lot of food coming for this caravan, so it should be fine. We'll take that home. And I will grab just a couple of animals. We'll take the orange horse and we'll slaughter that when we get home. Then I need a couple of adult ones. I could probably just take the calves because they're not going to eat much when they come home. So yeah, I don't greatly want to take the mufflos, but the horses are faster. So I don't know how many animals I'm going to need for this. I could jettison, like, a heap of the wood. We could just get that at the next location. I don't have that selected, I'm pretty sure. I know I do, sorry. No, fuck that right off. That's why I needed so many animals. I was like, why do I need so many? I don't even have that much selected. Okay. That's not quite right. How about I do that? That's still fucking over the other caravan. Alright, we got fun with figuring this shit out. I do have another caravan coming for this, so it's not the worst thing if one gets stranded. I just don't want to have too much weight. That's probably the best I can probably do. Nope, that's probably the best actually. Take the 3 mufflos, send them home. I guess Orange Foal's going to go to the next location. The other caravan's going to merge with this in a hot second. So, which caravan I got? That's the big one. You can be resting. You can go home. And most of my people should be ready to go. I'll check that in a second. I had my name butchered quite like way before. What? The schedule. Scheduler. Look, I am very well known for like fucking up everybody's names. It's fine. It's a little bit of the education that I got growing up, where we had creative learning in the first 3 years of my primary school. So basically, if I spelled cat, K-A-T, it was correct. So things like that. So I have a lot of trouble with figuring out how words are supposed to be pronounced. And it stayed with me for my entire life. They were supposed to implement it for the first 5 years of schooling, but they canned it after like halfway through the second year because none of the kids could fucking pronounce anything or read shit properly, and it was becoming a problem. But yeah, that is just what I'm stuck with, is that my school decided to do an experiment on a group of kids, and I get to spend the rest of my life trying to learn how to pronounce shit. So it's fun. But yeah, anybody I ever butcher your name, just don't take it personally. I legitimately don't fucking know. I'm doing the best I can. Trying to find out if any of these people happen to be night timers, because one of them is. Okay, the Mal is. Okay, let's get you on the schedule first, since that's important. 181 points means you have basically wrecked the entire ecosystem to feed. Yeah, the other thing is I kind of wish that the game would give me more random meat walking into my colony. That would be nice. I had the what do you call it, wild reproduction mod, but it broke with 1.5, and what it did was it allowed like the wild creatures to reproduce, but it also meant that more wild creatures were likely to walk into my map more frequently, and it made it sustainable for me to have enough meat and leather without having to own those animals myself. It wasn't like a huge change, it was just like enough, like an extra 1 or 2 animals on top of it, and maybe an extra cycle of creatures coming in a year kind of thing, like that sort of stuff. It wasn't much, but it mattered. And when that broke, like the animals apparently seem to wild reproduce anyway, so it doesn't matter too much. But I don't get as many, and I don't get them as often. And like between my collective meat-eating panthers and cats and my colonists and all sorts of stuff, I really cycle through the animals pretty quickly. So I have to grow a lot of food and then retain a lot of hauling animals, and it's quite a lot of work to kind of keep them all alive and shit, you know? Most people get the name wrong. It's fine though. Yeah. As long as it's like, you know, I don't know. I find like whenever I'm like talking to people and they're just like absolutely butcher a Prolic. Like the best one I've heard was a Philiac. That was fantastic. I actually found that genuinely funny. But yeah, whenever somebody like, I don't know, it's a consistent fucking it up. It's kind of annoying, you know, because, oh yeah, the old, oh, it's got to be acrylic or it's got to be April. Like that shit. Like you can't say April in my chat. It won't let you. But yeah, acrylic. Yeah, it ain't that. But a lot of people get that on the first go because that's where their brain goes to. And I totally get that. I get it. It's just like, nah, it ain't that. I just feel bad trying to correct people because it feels rude to correct somebody on your name and crap. Oh yeah, well, the current month is my birthday, so yeah, it makes it funnier because a lot of my community members are also born in April. So they try to like say when their birthday is, and it just goes like, no, you can't do that. The mod was an increase to frequency rates. It was tweakable, I think. Mine wasn't tweakable, unless I just didn't know how to. There's a good chance I just didn't know how. But yeah, I never really played with it. It was just like any mod that I have is just set to default, and I just leave it as that usually. But yeah, if it was like something you could adjust, I'm not surprised. I just never would have done it. And why I can't push this button type. Yeah, well, the thing is, here in my community, people start pushing specific buttons. Pushing specific buttons frequently, they get timed out. They keep doing it frequently, they get banned and tolerate much. I don't see the need to tolerate things. Like, people can be nice or they can fuck off. That's how I see it. So I only need to do it once. I mean, that's fine. Like I said, if something just keeps happening though, I'll add it to a banned word or I'll remove the ability for it. This guy has like mostly like 10 in mining, but I don't want him to be like exclusively just mining. He can do smithing and other stuff, but in this colony I have a lot of devices set up for mining, and I don't need people to be mining at the moment unless we need the special resources from it. So I kind of want to set him up as like ones on the others. Whoop, shit. I don't need a crunchy one there. Once I had somebody else join just then, or maybe not. Someone answers in chat. Well, somebody can try to answer that in chat. It's just that it just doesn't go through. The funniest part is that I've got some stuff set up that even I can't see it when somebody does it. It's great. Because somebody will do something and then I won't react and they'll be like, wait, why isn't it letting me do this thing? And I'm like, you're probably trying to say something that's banned. It's not going to go through. That's how I've got it set up. You can really only do research, can't you, mate? You can't really do much else. I don't want you stuck doing art. I'd rather him on one of the devices and maybe do art or something. Although I could set him up like Star. I'm gonna set him up like Star and let him have some crunchy skills, and everything else that does have a bit of whatever he can have as 2s. So yeah, he'll do it maybe. I said this, please don't take it the wrong way. I don't think you're supposed to run with this many colonists. I doubt the Tyrant expected anyone to go ham with the population. Yeah, no, I've already been told that basically, like, the way that I'm playing the game is not how you're supposed to play it. But Tyrant is also a firm believer in playing a game, or enjoying playing a game however the player enjoys playing the game, even if it's world-breaking or game-breaking and stuff. So while he definitely didn't design the game to do this, he still condones people fucking around with the game and pushing it to the maximum just for the enjoyment of it. So I'm not too worried about it. Also, I also have his guy running around in my colony, so he's in here somewhere. What else we got here? Stuff looks around wagging tably. No. I'll give you some pats, Viking. I know it's a little bit past time, but I also gas bagged for like 20 minutes at the start of stream because I had like all that stuff to let you guys know about with the like random game nights not happening, and Wednesday streams not happening for now until I finish making my avatar and crap. So yeah, we got extra time to go past 2 AM. It's fine. I don't have any problem with you doing this. Love watching different playstyles. Yeah. Game can't scale properly. I know the game can't scale properly, but I'll tell you what, it fucking tries. So, like, for instance, if I go to a hostile lump and I take 40 colonists, it's obviously only going to plop out one person, right? It's not ready for that bullshit. But if I'm sitting here at home and I've got, like, a fuck ton of, I don't know, everybody's got armor, everybody's got weapons, stuff like that, the kind of raids that I get, like, I was talking about this earlier, was that recently, like, I had 145 colonists raid my colony, which is why I took 14 prisoners, right? So I had a big group. Sometimes I get triple raided at the same time, 3 different groups, in like groups of 50 odd. Sometimes I get groups of 50 mechs where like 19 are Inferno Cannon centipedes, and like most of the rest of them are like the laser ones or whatever, right? So it's still fucking difficult. The only thing is, like, by this point in time, I have a lot of defenses and stuff. Like, almost none of my people have armor. Let me just say that. Like, almost none of them got armor. Almost all of them have got a weapon. A lot of them have got basic wooden weapons. And it's the best I can do, you know? I'm gonna give this person some crunchy ones too, because they just don't have much in the way of skills. I've been looking at it for a bit and I'm like, I don't know what to do with you. You've got like cooking, that's great. They'll mostly do cooking. Let me save this. I've been in here for a while. But yeah, sometimes it does it right. Sometimes it just goes, yeah, no, we're going to make this like an event. Like, for instance, catching the flu. My colony had 113 colonists out of, we had like 220 at the time. So like about half of them caught the flu. That was a lot. But only really one person died just because of how I play it. We also had 3 starvation events. I would count recently as a starvation event because we got down to a point where we didn't have enough food for one day in the colony. So stuff like that happens too. Like, it does throw some shit at me, but it's done trying to throw raids at me specifically. Mostly because I steal people if they send people, you know. The Prolic Colonists are name in game. What did you rename her? Nah, she's name in game. So, somebody got me the DLC for the name in game. So I submitted a couple of options and they asked me about it and they went with this one. So, wherever she is, hold on. There. Yeah, this is my character in game. So for anybody that doesn't know, obviously I'm a Prolic and my avatar is Kelly Venus. So yeah, the funny thing is she's really close to my actual age because I just turned 37 and she's 35. So I actually appreciate the fact that like she just wandered in and she was like a mostly half decent character. I just find it funny that she's a cannibal and I've got a colony that's like anti-cannibal. So of all the things they could have like slapped her with, I just find that that's a funny option, you know. But yeah, no, if I walk into your colony, by all means feel free to add me to your colony, capture, torture, whatever the fuck you're into, you know. Just do whatever you're gonna do. And like I think I had a mind wipe and I got married off in I think Bez's game. I don't fucking know. Something happened in Bez's game. I know I got a mind wipe in it to get like recruited, but that's about as much as I know. I'm in like at least 4 people's games apart from my own. So I'm all over the place. It's nice. So I wanted to have Lenza RNG. It's my name and game nickname, but they said no screen names. One keeps coming in age 38. Hi, RL. The real life age. Oh yeah. I don't think I've encountered you. Well, it's only just been outed as of this year, I think, or very, very late last year. So for most people probably wouldn't have encountered me. I'm surprised that I walked into my game. I've had a few people walk into my game that I've never seen before. Like, I never had Grim in any of my other previous games. And as soon as I saw him walk in, I couldn't not take him because Grim's my best mate. And I'm like, I need to take him. He was an ally character though. Tyran walked in. I don't give a shit about it being Tyran for the creator. I wanted Tyran for Tyrantha. So I got him. He was also an ally. They were the first 2 I really fucked over my allies for. I'd never done it before. But yeah, after that, I started having like really specific people come in. I had Bombay. Bombay is Eternal Dipsy's character. And so like when they walked into like several games because I ran a test run of something on a weekend and they kept fucking arriving. They kept being like the first reward. Like if somebody had sent a transport pod and it'd be fucking him. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy wants to fucking join my game. I'm like, he better walk into my actual game when I play it. It took like a week before he actually did. So that was fine. That wasn't too bad. But I've got a few in here. Like I've got a Arctic wolf that is Viking, but I haven't renamed it. It's been named by my colonists as Crook. So that's Viking, you know. But I did say as soon as I could get an Arctic wolf, I would get an Arctic wolf for Viking because I didn't want to have just a random timber wolf because I'd probably not notice if I got another timber wolf walk into my colony and therefore I wouldn't, you know, cull it before it kills, you know, my cats and crap. So yeah, I went out my way to get an Arctic one instead of the first one I could get. stuff like that, you know, things that I think are important. And yeah, I also had an issue with what do you call it? I can't remember what is it, Luminous or whatever it is. Whatever the fucking RimWorld company is, they also didn't like the things about screen names and stuff, but, you know, yeah, I had a bit of a conversation with them about that, and I gave them options. I gave them a few options, so when they said that they chose one, I didn't actually know what it was going to be. So when I saw her walk in, I absolutely lost my shit, because I was keeping my eye out for a Kelly, because Kelly could potentially walk in as Kelly Venus. And I thought, oh, for sure. I thought for sure they'd go with that, because that sounds like so much more of a normal name. I don't know what Kelly when I saw her up here. But a lot of my characters in a lot of my games, I've always called Kelly, because I've had my avatar since I was like fucking 12, 13 or something, right? So yeah, I've had that as like something I can use as well. So I'm like, if they've got there's Kelly. If they've got a problem with acrylic, they should be fine with Kelly, but this isn't Kelly Venus. It's just a Kelly, you know, so that's fine. I was fine with either. I was prepared for it to be either, but they chose this one and they were fine with that, so we went with that. I think my other caravan might have gone out too. I was just keeping an eye on that. Yeah, I think they might have left. So my only thing is, I've had this group sat here for a bit. This lot can merge. They can go to the lump. This lot can go to the lump. I didn't realize whatever the fuck happened with that group, but they can merge. They can go as a big old group. That's going to help a little bit. But yeah, I hadn't ever really considered the name and game thing until somebody was like, oh, you can have, you know, you can put your own character in it. Because I use EdB Prepare Carefully usually to add characters at the very beginning of a game. But I used it specifically to add previous colonists from previous games. So like my sort of like fan favorites that I've always played with, like, I don't think you're the chimpanzee. No, you're the other one. But like, where's one of them? There's Weeks. I added her. I recreated her. Obviously, she's grown some skills and depleted some since then. Shizuka, same thing. I recreated, like, tried to get her name. I don't know if I got the names 100%. I just know I got the first names right. Their traits, what they had, what they're incapable of, what they were, and then their skills and stuff. Like, I sat down and added them to RimWorld as EdB Prepare Carefully characters so that I could always just grab them and throw them in the game if I ever wanted to replay with them and stuff. I also have like ultra buffed out versions of them for like just hacks, silly lols plays and stuff like that. Also, it looks like Baikal set the field on fire. There's only one fire foam popper on that side, so I hope they do alright with that. That's Ludden. I wonder if you have the famous Lalau. I don't. I have Lily. I think you've mentioned that before. I think I went for a look once before. Hold on. The name's in order. Yeah, no. Where's my L start? We've got from land through to Lumi. I probably have memory. It's terrible. It's fine. Mine's stupidly good at times. I don't remember everything, but I remember a lot of things. Is everyone featherweight tab is smelling? No. Yeah, I have like a really absurdly okay memory for stuff, specifically conversations. I don't know why. I just do. But yeah. If somebody's like having a conversation about something and then like several months later they come back in and say hello and stuff like that, there's a pretty okay chance that I'll remember what the fuck we were talking about last time. It's really weird. And it's not intentional, it's just is how it is with me. Which is, I guess, fine, but I feel like I probably creep out people by just having like the memory. A lot of the times, actually, a lot of people have been like, oh, you must be like looking at the, what is it, like the chat history that you can like pull up and have a look at whatever the fuck somebody said in the past. And I'm like, actually, no, I forget that it's a thing that exists. more often than not. And like I come across it very, very rarely when I'm trying to moderate somebody. And then I'm like, oh, this is a thing that exists. And I'm like, oh, that would be useful. And then I'm like, I don't need it. But yeah, I get a lot of people are like, oh, you must be using this. And they feel like it's very insincere, but it's genuinely sincere. I remember a lot about people, specifically just conversations that I've had and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Each their own. People can believe what they want, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know if I resorted this like that. That's pretty good. I guess it got verified so they can chat on Twitch now. Nice. Good job. I will be playing Diablo 2 tomorrow. I got to play it last week, and then I didn't play it for 3 weeks prior to that and stuff. So, yeah. But it's all good. I kind of hate that I have to have the verification thing up and stuff because I know it prevents some people from chatting, and it's a pain in the ass, especially when it like locks in and it's like has issues. And not with the person, but it has issues with itself and or the email system and shit. But it does help get rid of a lot of spam and shit. So, yeah. I think it's worth it just to keep the few shitty spammers out and from harassing people and stuff. Or from saying stuff that has helped a fair bit. Let's see, you can read then. Well, maybe. Depends what part of fucking Diablo you're doing at the time. Depends how I feel too. Sometimes if I see people are online, I don't raid out even if like I know them and I know that their raid would be fine, like their stream would be fine. It's just like yesterday, there was a few people on, I just didn't fucking have energy, and I'm like, I'm really sore. I don't feel like sitting here for very long and engaging in crap. But I don't really like raiding and running unless I don't have a choice. Like if I have an appointment or something and I have to go, fine. But if I can avoid it, I'd rather like hang around, at least like lurk and listen for a little bit while I do editing and crap. But yeah, most of the time I'll raid if I have the energy and stuff, which is funny because like I'm an introvert. I know I don't come across like that when I stream, but I'm an introvert, right? So socializing is like psychologically taxing to me. So like by the end of the night, depending on what the fuck my game has been doing, I may not have the energy to like hold and engage like conversation and crap. That's why I'm seeing the amount of messages sent wagging Tapley. What do you mean fucking? Actually, yeah, you can actually go and see how many you've sent. It's probably maxed out at 999 plus for you, isn't it? Vikings experiencing being my mod. So he's I don't know how much you've spent in there, like looking around and stuff like that. Shadow said it was overwhelming. Atlantis has showed me a tiny bit of it. I'm just like, here's mod, have fun. For the most part, lately has been really good. So I haven't needed any real assistance or anything like that, which has been good. But I know when I have to do like the karaoke event and shit later in the year, I won't be able to like check shit during that. So I will need help during that and stuff. And I believe Andre is going to be, I think temporary mod sometime next month when I do the Rim Connect, the 10-hour Rim Connect event. So you may see him pop up there, Viking as well. But yeah, he's gonna, if he has a chance, if he's got time available and stuff like that, he's gonna help set up some votes and shit for the Rim Connect. So like just randomly out of the blue, something will pop up and you guys can vote for it or whatever. And yeah, for the most part, when it comes to moderation, I do pretty much all of it myself. I don't really need the assistance. It's not like I'm saying, oh, I don't need you guys. It's just that like my community's pretty good these days. So like I don't really feel the need to have somebody constantly paying attention, and if something pops up I normally see it and I expect to be the one doing it kind of thing as a streamer. Like this is my stream, I choose to go live, I choose to be here and stuff, and at the moment I can handle it and stuff. Eventually, by all means, like fuck knows when I play Diablo, I've seen like 9 individual chatters chatting, and I've been like, oh my god, I can't keep up with this, and I miss stuff, and yeah, it happens, you know, so I miss shit. So like, it's not only I'm missing anything bad, but like if 9 people talking at once is kind of like a hard limit for me at the moment, or it's auto-saving, that's what's going on, then yeah, I can imagine any more than that would probably be challenging. A bit much, something like that. I don't know if I've got that squirrel like ready to cull. We'll find out. It's wagging tail happily. No. So sweet can raid you then. I mean, you guys are welcome to raid me whenever. I don't care if you've got, like, if it's just you